Welcome to Hello English Teacher. Today let's look at the extract based questions from the lesson Sermon at Banaras from class 10 English. If you are watching my video for the first time, please subscribe. You can listen to the explanations of chapters from classes 10, 11 and 12 English, and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a video. Let's move on to the video now. So, here are some extracts from the chapter Sermon at Banaras. Let's look at the first extract. At about the age of 25, the prince, heretofore shielded from the sufferings of the world, while going out on hunting, chanced upon a sick man, then an aged man, then a funeral procession, and finally a monk begging for alms. So, let's look at the questions. Here is the first question. Who is the prince mentioned above? Is it Siddhartha? Is it Ashoka? Is it Rama or Arjuna? So, the answer is A. Siddhartha. So, let's look at the next question. Until what age was he shielded from the sufferings of the world? 14, 25, 19 or 20? So, Siddhartha was shielded from the world's sufferings until the age of 25. So, next question. What did he see when he went out for hunting? A sick man, an aged man, a funeral procession and a monk begging, all of the above. So, the answer is all of the above. So, the next question. Which word from the below in the extract means until now? Is it chanced, heretofore or monk? So, the answer is C, heretofore means until now. So, next question. Who is a monk? A villager, a teacher, a doctor or a member of a religious group? So, the answer is D, a monk is a member of a religious group. So, let's look at the next extract. These sights so moved him that he at once became a beggar and went out into the world to seek enlightenment concerning the sorrows he had witnessed. He wandered for 7 years and finally sat down under a fig tree where he vowed to stay until enlightenment came. So, let's look at the questions. First question, what sights moved him? A sick man, a funeral procession, a monk begging for alms and a sick man, all of the above. So, we know that it is D, all of the above. All the sights that he saw, that is a sick man, funeral and a monk, all these moved him. So, next question, why did he become a beggar? He was hungry, he wanted money, he was moved by the sights, he was lazy. So, the answer is C, he was moved by the sights. So, next question, why did he go out into the world? For sightseeing, for business, for making friends, for seeking enlightenment. So, the answer is D, for seeking enlightenment. That means he wanted to understand the meaning of all these sufferings. So, let's look at the next question, question number 4. For how many years did he wander? Is it 7, 2, 4 or 10? So, he wandered for about 7 years. Okay, next question. Why did he sit under the fig tree? He was tired, he wanted some rest, he vowed to wait until enlightenment came, he did not want to go back. So, the answer is C, he vowed to wait until enlightenment came. So, that is why he sat under the fig tree. So, now let us look at the next extract. The Buddha answered, I want a handful of mustard seeds. And when the girl in her joy promised to procure it, then Buddha added, the mustard seed must be taken from a house where no one has lost a child, husband, parent or a friend. So, let us look at the questions. Question number 1. Who is the girl in the above lines? Is it Kissa Gautami, the narrator, Siddhartha's wife or Siddhartha's mother? So, the answer is A, Kissa Gautami. So, next question. What did the Buddha ask her to bring? Some coffee seeds, a handful of mustard seeds, a handful of sesame seeds or a handful of green peas? So, we know that the answer is B, a handful of mustard seeds. So, next question. Why was the girl very happy? She thought that he would bring back her son to life. She thought that he would give her some money. She was happy to meet him. She was not at all happy. So, the answer is A. She thought that he would bring back her son back to life. So, next is a vocabulary question. What does the word procure mean? Is it to give, to buy, to obtain or to take? So, procure means to obtain. So, the next question. What was the Buddha's condition to the girl? bring a bag full of seeds, bring seeds from a house where no one had lost their life, bring seeds from a newly married couple's home, or none of the above. So the answer is B. The Buddha asked the girl to bring seeds from a house where no one had died before. So let's look at the next extract. The Buddha said, "The life of mortals in this world is troubled and brief and combined with pain, for there is not any means by which those that have born can avoid dying. After reaching certain age, there is death. Of such a nature are living beings. As ripe fruits in early danger of falling, so mortals when born are always in danger of death." So let's look at the questions from this extract. Question number 1. What did the Buddha say about life? Life is full of troubles and pains. Life is full of happiness. Life is full of sorrows, and life is full of miseries. So he said that life is full of troubles and pains. So what is that the mortals cannot avoid? Food, water, air, and death. So mortals cannot avoid death. So next question. When does a fruit fall? When it is raw, when it is ripe, when it is not fully developed? None of the above. So according to Buddha, a fruit falls when it is ripe. So next question. What danger does the mortals always face? Growth, death, peace, or war? So according to the Buddha, the mortals always face the danger of death. So what according to Buddha is natural? Growth, decay, corruption, or death? Again, the answer is D. According to the Buddha, death is natural for every living thing. So let's look at the next extract. Not from weeping nor from grieving will anyone obtain peace of mind. On the contrary, his pain will be greater and his body will suffer. He will make himself sick and pale, yet the dead are not saved by lamentation. He who seeks peace should draw out the arrow of lamentation and complaint and grief. So let's look at the questions from this. Who is the speaker of these words? So the answer is C. Buddha. So next question. What will happen if you grieve and weep? You will feel relaxed, you will feel satisfied, you will have more pain and suffering, you will feel tensed. So the answer is C. You will have more pain and suffering. So next question. Lamentation is of no use. Why? Because it cannot bring back the dead, it cannot bring money, it can make you strong, it cannot give you a job. So the answer is A. It cannot bring back the dead. So that is why lamentation is of no use. So next question. How can one achieve peace? By meditating, by doing exercises, by not talking to anyone, by removing grief, complaints, and lamentation. So the answer is D. By removing grief, complaints, and lamentation. So next question. What does the word lamentation mean? So to express anger, to express sadness about something, to express happiness over something, or to express fear. So the answer is B. Express sadness about something. So let's look at the next extract. And she thought to herself, how selfish am I in my grief? Death is common to all. Yet in this valley of desolation, there is a path that leads him to immortality, who has surrendered all selfishness. So question number 1. Who is the she mentioned in the above line? Is it Kissa Gautami, the narrator, Siddhartha's wife, or Siddhartha's mother? So we know that the she mentioned in the above line is Kissa Gautami. So second question. What made her think? The thought of Buddha, the sight of the flickering lights, the mustard seeds, none of these. So actually the sight of the flickering lights made her to sit and think. So next question. What did she understand? Growth is common to all, death is common to all, poverty is common to all, and anger is common to all. So after she thought, she understood that death is common to all. So next question. What leads to immortality? Greed, or one who works hard, or one who surrenders selfishness, or one who is passionate about life? So only when you surrender your selfishness, it leads to immortality. So let's look at the last question from this extract. What does the word desolation mean? Great unhappiness and loneliness, great feeling of victory, feeling obliged, feeling greatly satisfied. So the answer is A. Great unhappiness and loneliness. So I hope you liked today's video. For more informative videos, subscribe to Hello English Teacher, like, share and give your valuable comments below. Thank you for watching.